Helen here with Eyes on the Game here, being joined by UFC heavyweight Mr. Walt Harris. Now, you are coming off that 52nd knockout victory over Spivak on May 4th, and now you fight someone you're very familiar with, Alexei Oleinik, who you were supposed to fight a month ago, and you've trained with him for quite a few years. What do you think about this matchup?
I'm excited for it. I think it's a perfect matchup for me. Everybody I've fought in my career wants to do what he wants to do and take me down. So I've been preparing for that for years. Plus, I've gotten personal mat time with him. And it goes the same for him. You know, he knows me, but I feel like I've grown since those times. I feel like I've gotten light years better, and I'm prepared. I'm super prepared for this fight.
But does it make it kind of weird that you guys are so good friends too, right?
It does. It makes it really weird, especially for me because I love people, and it's just kind of one of those things, man. But I know it's business, and he's got to try to feed his family. I'm trying to feed my family. So at the end of the day, when we're done, we'll go have a beer together, laugh about it. No matter win or lose, we'll still be friends.
But when do you turn it on? Is it like on fight night, or is it the day of the weigh-ins? When does that happen?
It's on. It's on now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The minute that call comes through, it's on. I'm a visualized. I visualize things. Visualization is big for me. So the minute I get the name, I start visualizing the fight and how I'm going to prepare for it, how I want it to go out, play out. And, like I said, there's no hard feelings. I respect Alexei. I respect every opponent. There's only maybe one guy that was in this organization that I don't care for. But other than that, I respect him. So I'm going to go in there and put on a good performance because he deserves that. He deserves the best me, and I deserve the best him.
And the fight of the night bonus as well, right?
Yeah. I'm trying to get that bonus again. It feels good to get that extra check for sure.
But what do you hope to capitalize on in the fight? And, I'm sure you're looking for that quick knockout again.
Oh, for sure. I want to get the quick, explosive, exciting knockout. That's what the fans like. But I want to show my growth. I think that a lot of people underestimate my grappling, my wrestling and things like that. So I'm excited to see where the fight goes and how I perform in those situations because I spend a lot of time preparing, for those moments.
Now we are here in Minneapolis this weekend. Junior Dos Santos fights Francis Ngannou. How do you see that fight playing out? I
got JDS in 3. I think he's going to wear Francis down. I think he'll use his footwork and his movement to stay away from the big punches early. Kind of the same style of fight he had with Derek Lewis, where he didn't let Derek get comfortable and let him get those big power shots and land them. And then when the time's right, I think he's going to take him out.
And what about DC and Stipe, that rematch?
I see DC in the 4th round. I think DC's going to grind it. I think he's going to put a little bit of pressure on Stipe, and then he's going to just wear him down with the wrestling for sure.
Now, Dana White did say that he's hoping to get more into boxing and to announce some news by the end of the summer. All your 12 victories have come by knockout victories. So is boxing something that would interest you?
For sure. Dana, please, if you're watching this or you hear this, you get a boxing promotion started under the Zuffa banner, please give me a chance to box because that is my first love. It's what I started doing, and I think I could be really good at it.
Who would you hope to box first?
So are we boxing UFC guys? Or are we boxing just boxers? Any of them. Anthony Joshua, I would love to fight him at some point. Any of them, honestly. I feel like I match up well with all of them.
Well, since you say Anthony Joshua, were you surprised the way that Andy Ruiz beat him so quickly?
I was surprised, but not shocked, because I feel like with the guys in boxing, it's a little bit different than MMA. Those guys kind of are kept men in the sport. They move them in strategic ways, and I feel like you fight the guys that are the best in that time. So I think he should have been fighting somebody like Deontay or Tyson at that fight, and he underestimated Ruiz. And when you underestimate guys that are professionals, you pay for it. So,
Do you think he'll beat Ruiz in that rematch?
I do. I think he'll take him more serious. I think he'll find a way to tighten up the little things and the holes in his game from the last fight, and he'll come back better.
Now, you mentioned Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder. You've worked with both guys, right?
Yeah, I worked with D extensively over the last 5 or 6 years, with him being right down the road in Tuscaloosa. And then I got a chance to work with Tyson last summer. He flew me over there for a month and a half, so it's pretty cool.
So how did that come about? Did their camps reach out to you?
Yeah, their camp, his coach, Ben Davison, actually reached out to a friend of mine, Fred Weaver. Shout out, Fred. He reached out to him, and then Fred messaged me like, hey, man, Tyson Fury's camp's trying to get you to come over and help Tyson. And I'm like, really? And so he gave him my number. He's like, I wanted to make sure it was okay with you first. And then I got the call, and they bought the plane ticket the next day, and I was out.
So who was tougher to work with?
Both of them both present different problems. I mean, they're both 6'8", 6'9". Their length, their boxing IQ, their speed, and the power. Tyson doesn't have as much punching power as Deontay, and he's not as athletic, but his knowledge of boxing and where to be and when to be he's on another level. It's special, for real, for real. So I take away different things when I train with both of them.
But do you think they'll be fighting in 2020?
For sure. That's the next fight for Tyson right now. And then D has a mandatory with Ortiz, which I'm pretty sure he'll probably call me to help him for because I helped him get ready for the last Ortiz fight. So that'll be kind of interesting to be kind of right in the middle of that before they go actually to do it again. So
with you saying it's for Tyson next, and I did speak to Bob Arum. He said he was hoping to make that fight next rather than, have Tyson fight someone else. Do you think either way it won't happen till next year, though, right, 2020?
Yeah, I think it's going to definitely have to be next year because Deontay has that mandatory with Ortiz. He's got to get through him. Ortiz is a very game opponent, very good fighter. And then after that fight, they're going to take their time, get prepared, set at the venue, and you know how boxing works, all that stuff. And then it'll be 2020 by the time we see it.
But what if they both want you to help them when they're about to fight each other?
I got to go with D. I mean, that's hometown. Yeah, that's hometown. And he's been there for me at a point where I needed him, so he's like family, so I got to be there for him for sure.
Any early prediction for that fight?
Oh, man, they get me every time with this one. And I based on what happened last time, I don't think Tyson will make the same mistake. So I think it'll go all 12 rounds, to be honest.
But could go either way?
Yeah. Putting me on the spot. I'm gonna say D in 12.
D in 12, very bold prediction. And lastly, though, out of the big four heavyweight boxers right now, Andy Ruiz, also put Anthony Joshua in there since you think he'll win that rematch, Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury. Who do you think's the best right now?
The best right now, skill-wise, I'd say Tyson. But pure intimidation, pure heavyweight fear is Deontay. So I think it's 1A, 1B situation with him. It just depends on how you look at it, honestly.
And which day it is. But speaking of intimidation, fear, like I mentioned, all 12 of your wins have come by way of knockout, most recently 50-second knockout victory. What would you like to tell all your fans who will be tuning in July 20th?
Expect fireworks. Expect the best big ticket you ever seen. Like I said, it's my opportunity to take that next step. So I've been putting myself through hell for them, So it's going to be fun. Tune in.